Well, happy remote day, folks. I thought it might be helpful if I did a little video to give you some instructions for today. And so the first thing I thought you ought to know is that you need to fill out this attendance Google form. And I have this posted, and we know that we haven't really talked about these things with you, but um, it wasn't expected. So you're going to actually click on this link. You'll fill out your first name, your last name, your homeroom teacher, and you'll have to click that you understand that you have to do this in order to be counted as present. That's a pretty easy thing to do. So that's the first thing you ought to do. You'll need to notice also that you have assignments in ELA, math, and science. And Miss Head, you can see, has her things numbered: math assignment 1, 2, and 3. And for you to see what you need to do here, Miss Brooks has her stuff listed out in science 1, 2, 3, and in social studies 1, 2, 3. Plus, there's a slideshow here you can look at. So those are all there for you. For language arts, I haven't changed the format at all of what I was going to do because I believe you can do this. So you'll click here and it'll show you all the materials. I want to show you Module 5, Wit and Wisdom, Lesson 5, Lesson 1, Module backwards, Module 1, Lesson 5. It's right here. You're going to want to look through. If we were together, I would actually be handing these back out to you. Some of you turned them in, but I bet you can remember what citations you had where Bud demonstrated his ability to survive. This is an important piece of information in chapters 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. If you turned it in yesterday, I bet you can remember what you found in each of the chapters and you had citations you were supposed to do. These are directly important to you. So our question today, if we were together, I'd have you be reading this. What makes Bud a survivor? There's many things that do. And if we were together, you'd be able to discuss what you had done with your partner. Feel free to call a friend if you'd like to do that and discuss it, or just remember. And you were supposed to share specific places in the text that demonstrate how Bud is a survivor. In chapter 1, he's surviving in the home. In chapter 2, he's surviving at the Amos's. In chapter 3, I think he's still I can't remember. Chapter 4, he's in the shed. Gosh, what happened in chapter 3? I have to go back and look. But the good news is that you might be like me, and you may have to go back to the text, and you can remember that here you have the whole Bud Not Buddy text where you can go back and look. Let's look and see what happened in chapter 3. Now, this looks a little different than what you're used to. So Bud's in the home in chapter 1, and in chapter 2, should be here in a minute, he's at the Amos's. They were not nice to him. Remember, Toddy was a problem. Keep scrolling. Oh, there's what was in chapter 3? Oh, he was trying to get out of the shed. Remember, in chapter 4, he's back in the Amos's house. And in chapter 5, he's on the lamb. Now I remember. Maybe it's because I've been asleep a little bit already tonight. Anyway, so you've got the whole text there. Plus, if you need any of the resources, you've got them all down here under digital text and resources. How about even? And I will add lesson 5 there in just a few minutes. So anyway, you're going to go ahead and go through lesson 5 on what helps him to survive. Really think on that because you're going to need that information. What qualities in Bud's personality help him overcome challenges? And then finally, what is it about Bud that helps him to persevere, to keep going in hard times? If we were together, I would ask you, what are we looking at? And you'd tell me resilience in the Great Depression. And remember, we're looking at how can enduring hardship contribute to personal transformation. If we were together, we would be doing a little word study over the word depression. Depression. Now, we all have read we've talked a little bit about the Great Depression that happened in the 1930s. People had lost their jobs, their homes. They weren't happy. There was an economic crash that impacted everyone in the country. And great here actually means widespread. It impacted millions of people, everyone in the country. Now, there are 3 definitions for the word depression. I would like you to write this definition down on page 30 of your ELA notebook if you have it. If you don't have it, you can certainly do that on Monday. Depression is a noun. It's a feeling of overwhelming sadness, something that's sunken or compared to its surroundings, like Bobby's got a depression over there in his dog bed where he's been laying, and an economic situation marked by instability, unemployment, and poverty. Which definition goes best with our study? Is he sad? Is there something sunken in? Or is it an economic situation? Yeah, it's an economic situation. So I'm going to have the sprayer model for you on Monday that you're going to be able to fill out, but you can just make some notes at home, and that way it won't take you all that long. It shouldn't take you 12 minutes on Monday if you do the front-loaded work now. You've got a sprayer model where it's got each of the 3 definitions. You're going to need to write down an example of each, characteristics, and non-examples. Frayer models should not be hard for you at this point. So then, if we were in class, I would say, which definition goes best with the study of Bud Not Buddy? Hold up 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, or 3. Is it definition 1, 2, or 3? A depression on the couch revealed by the dog's favorite sleeping spot. And you would hold up 1, 2, or 3. That's right, it'd be 2. Or how about some people fear that another depression would occur in our lifetimes? Is that 1, 2, or 3? It's 3. And for this one, Gina's doctor talked to her about methods for treating depression. Is that 1, 2, or 3? Yeah, it's 1, being really sad. So we would have looked over depression. You could write your own sentence about depression using any of the definitions. But for our book, the most appropriate one is about the economic downturn that happened in the 1930s, in 1929 and through the 30s. This is the big part of your assignment for today. How do I use a to seek paragraph? You know how you were showing me that you understood them with a topic sentence, evidence, elaboration, and a conclusion? You're going to be doing a writing piece, writing a paragraph using the to seek method. You have this thinks it should take you 40 minutes to do it. You decide how you want to do it. You have instructions, and here's a graphic organizer that you can draw on paper if you'd like to use it. But the way to complete this part of your assignment is go to the classwork in Google Classroom, and you'll see it says Assessment 5, Focusing Task 1. Right here, you'll click on your assignment. You will have your own copy of it, so you don't have to make a copy. The instructions are here, everything you should include, and you should also have this topics. Here will be how you're graded. You're actually going to write your paragraph down here where it says type your response. You're going to highlight that. You're going to type over it. Okay? So that's what you're going to do for this. And then finally, for me, this one should not take very long for you to do it all. I want you to go to the Google Classroom. You see your Grammar Week 5 Friday quiz? You're just going to do it. And that's what you're going to do for my classes today. All right. Well, I hope that helps you. And I look forward to seeing you. But I will be out of school on Monday morning for a doctor's appointment. So you'll have a sub where you can finish some of these things, but you'll have some new assignments on Monday as well. But I will be in by 11:30. If you have questions, feel free to email me, and I will do my very best to answer your questions. Thanks.